What's up, my friends? I hope you're having an awesome day. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is out, and that means that people are firing it up, experiencing it for the first time, and I have to assume that some of those people are gonna be like, oh, what's 1 like? So I wanted to make a video that goes through some tips and tricks that I wish I had known when I first started, because it would have made things so much better. But before we start, I just wanted to say that I love this game. This game holds a really special place in my heart. It's just like, the amount of love and like immersion that they put into this thing is just so crazy. The world is alive. The villagers are all doing their own thing. Like, they have actual set schedules that you can watch them do. They do their morning chores, they collect water and firewood. They even stop to take breaks and eat. It really does a good job of making you feel like you're a part of the world. You're not just like the main character running around, but like you're just a character in this world that's already going on, whether you're here or not.
Put that weapon away or I'll call a guard.
So if this is the first time you're firing this thing up, you are in for a treat because this game is something else. So let's get into it, my friends. My 5 top tips for starting Kingdom Come Deliverance. Tip 1, don't muscle the intro. Now in most RPGs, when you first fire it up, it's like, oh yeah, you're the noob. Like, you don't really know what you're doing yet. But you do still. Like, it still gives you skills and you can still usually beat the people in the beginning of the game. So it's like not really an issue unless you're playing Elden Ring. That guy whooped me so many times. I don't want to talk about it. Other than Elden Ring though, I don't think any game is as harsh about it as this one. Because you really do start as nothing. You have no skills. You have no fighting skills whatsoever. The intro's nice about like filling you in a little bit about how things work, but it is just scratching the surface. You might even be feeling cocky because you beat the town drunk in a fist fight early on. But don't let that fool you. The minute you get weapons in your hand, the game becomes way, way harder. And you need to train, which we will get into later. But what I'm talking about is there's a scene shortly after tragedy strikes where you need to escape. And you're going to be tempted to whip that sword out and fight. But I am saying do not do it because you do not have the skills to fight. You got to treat it like it is. Henry's kind of just like a punk kid, you know? He doesn't know anything. He can't fight against battle-hardened warriors, so don't try to make him do that. Unless you're feeling really confident, then like go for it. But I still, to this day, cannot beat any of those dudes.
Definitely save Teresa, but you can just whistle. You don't actually have to fight those dudes. You can just distract them. Hey, assholes, over here. Oh wait, how do I get on the horse?
So you're probably asking, well, then when can I fight? When do I get to be powerful? And that brings us on to tip number 2. Train, and then train some more. Now, after you get through the prologue section, the whole world's gonna open up to you. What you wanna do is you wanna keep going with the story quest a little bit until you meet a dude named Bernard. Now, this guy is like, he is basically like your Qui-Gon Jinn. You're Obi-Wan, he's Qui-Gon Jinn. You're Goku, he's King Kai. You see what I mean, right? He trains you. You get gnarly when you've trained with him. It's around the time that you do the quest where you get to be a guard for a little bit. You get to experience life as a guard in Ratai. He'll train you in any weapon you want to learn how to use, and more importantly, he'll teach you Master Strike if you get good enough with him. So really go in there and just like keep throwing blows with him, keep practicing, and you'll get stronger too. That's the beautiful thing of it, is like your character actually learns as you learn, and you get more skilled in combat. And it's not just sword fighting too. You want to master everything. You want to learn how to use the bow properly. Because I'll tell you, the bow doesn't just like, you can't just level it up and then be good at it. That is not how that thing works. You want to level it up to about 4 or 5, because then that way you stop scraping yourself. You don't have to wear band braces and stuff. But really, it's like getting good with the bow is on you. It's about actually going to the archery range and practicing your shots, or going out into the woods and trying to hunt. The more you use the bow, the better you're gonna get with it. Unless you're me, then you can't hit anything and it's really bad. But I give it my all. I give it my best, you know? The good old college try. Be better than me. It's not difficult. I believe in you. If you're feeling extra spicy, you can practice in the tournaments too. They throw them once a week. You always know. Trust me, you will know when the tournament's going on. The game will tell you a bunch of different ways, especially if you're still sleeping at Theresa's house, because her uncle every time, you want to bet on the tourney, lad? No, I don't want to bet on the tourney anymore. I already won a bunch. But you should go and practice in there because it's a really good way to level up your skills. And also you get cool pieces of armor if you win. So definitely worth trying that out. Leveling up your Henry and getting stronger and learning these skills is going to make your time in this game so much more fun. Leveling up lockpicking and learning that is really important too, because it's another one of those things where it's like, yeah, like you can like level it up, but you have to learn how to do it. And the more you learn how to do it, the better you get at it. As a little bonus tip, I'm just gonna fit in here. If you're struggling with the combat still and you're just having a rough time, you're like, oh, it's like such a pain in the butt, might I recommend using the mace, because I love the mace. It's one of those weapons where you just upper swing, clobber down on the head, and you win. Like most of the time when you hit somebody in the head, they're pretty over fighting after that. So that is my favorite weapon in the game. I love the long sword too. It's beautiful. You can do a bunch of really cool combos with it. But like, if you want to just like have like an easier time about it, the mace will do you well. So what I recommend is just taking a couple in-game days and you go and you train with Bernard. You know, eat lots of good food, sleep. There's a little campsite nearby that you can sleep at, and just like morning to night, just train with the guy. Get gnarly, get strong, learn that master strike, because that's going to be like huge when fighting groups, and just get familiar with that combat, because it really is a lot of fun once you get into it. Tip 3, avoid road fights. Now this might just be my most important tip that I have in the video. So picture this, you're riding down the road, just minding your business, being merry, singing songs, and all of a sudden you see a tree across the road. Oh, what is this? So you ride up to check it out. And then all of a sudden you get ambushed by 8 dudes and they're just like, get over! Oh, you don't have a horse, or you can't turn around fast enough. Oh, yep, you're just done. You try to fight them, you pull your weapon out, you're like, I can do this, I can handle this. You can't. Unless you're extremely lucky, it goes bad almost every time. Every time you deal with people on the road, it is in a bad situation that you just don't want to be in. So here's how you get out of that. First off, if you're fast traveling, the best thing to do is before you fast travel anywhere, make sure to stop at a bed or an inn and save the game. Because then that way you fast travel, you get ambushed, and then you didn't just lose a bunch of time. That happens a lot. The other way is just to run. Never stop. It's never worth it. You see a bunch of people fighting? Nope, I'm out of here. You see people coming at you? Nope, I'm out of here. You see some dude on the road that knows your name and they're like, oh, Henry, come on over, I have a plan. He doesn't have a plan, he's full of crap, you run. That's the trick here. You ever see any dudes on the road, you just run. It's not worth it. It will break the immersion so fast, even though it's very realistic. That probably happened all the time in the medieval ages of just like, oh, I'm just minding my own business. And then you get jumped by 8 dudes. But when it happens here, it is not fun. So my recommendation, run. Or at least save beforehand and then, you know, go for it. Tip 4, don't skip the side quests. Now I'm just going to start this off by saying I don't like side quests usually. I can't stand them because like they're built to like be time patterns. They don't really actually add too much to the game, and it's just busy work, and like you don't ever feel good after doing them. There are a couple games in my life I've played though where that is not how it is. That's not the case. One of them is Cyberpunk. You ever play that game? Like all the side quests are just awesome. They're just like so well made and they feel like their own mini stories. And I'll say with this too, like a lot of the side quests they have in Kingdom Come Deliverance are freaking awesome. They tell their own tales. You're just like, oh man, like you didn't expect that. Like there's one where you have to take a dude that like got captured and he's gonna show you where he has his money stash, and he keeps leading you into traps and you're just like, what dude? Heck, there was even one where I was a dentist. I had to take someone's tooth. So I guess that qualifies me as a medieval dentist, but yeah, it's really cool. Like there's a lot of special stuff to go on in the side quests. There's even a quest in the main quest that kind of feels like a side quest because it's like it takes you and puts you in a monastery, and you have to actually like live by their rules in the monastery, and you can feel that it's like this is probably how these guys used to actually live. And it's so crazy because you have to go through that, and meanwhile you're trying to do your own objectives, but it's like you get pulled into like what they're doing and what you have to do, and like you want to do it right because you're like, no, I don't want to be like the crappy monk, you know? Every quest in this game has a lot to offer. It's just really cool. It's like cool to experience it, like how the people used to live, and like you know that they're trying to stay accurate to how that went. I remember one of the quests, it actually made me exorcist too, and that was crazy. I was like expelling ghosts from someone's house.
Pater noster qui est in canis sanctificator omen tuum.
Wow.
Are you sure you're saying that right?
Oh yeah.
Shh! We mustn't be interrupted. In nominate parties et filiis et spirits etc.
Well, kind of. You'll see when you play it, but yeah, there's just so much in here. And then there's some side quests that can get pretty dark. Like you can give Game of Thrones a run for its money for sure. There's a lot of cool content that you'll miss if you don't fire up the side quests. So I recommend at least trying them out and seeing if you like them. I bet you'll have a good time. And now for the final tip. Tip 5. consider the peasant playthrough. I feel like this tip is for both new and returning players because it's something that I think that most people will actually go through. If you're like me, then you want to be the knight. You know, like that's what you picture is like you want to get the fancy armor, have the cool sword, and you want to just like rock in combat and be like that noble fighter that like everybody honors and respects. But when I beat the game, the thing that kept sitting with me was what would it be like if I played the other way, if I played the peasant the whole way through? And you can tell that the game has it completely optional. You can play the game however you want to. If you want to play the peasant that's like not really great at fighting, you know, and just like using cheap tricks, you can poison food, you can do the assassin stuff, like you can pretty much do this however you want to do it. And that's what I get to experience now because that's pretty much what my channel is I go through and do the peasant playthrough and like just seeing all the extra stuff that I missed the first time around by not playing like that has just been so epic to see. There are so many encounters that I just had no idea they'd go that way. Sometimes like it's better to choose the bad option. And bonus points if you play an evil playthrough, the game caters to that too. It does all of it. You can play your Henry however you want. So if you're gonna go the knight path, definitely awesome. It's really worth it. But also maybe consider being the peasant because there are some surprises in that route too, my friends. Playing the peasant has like an opposite effect where it's really crazy. Like the game shifts and changes. Just recently, I actually fired up one of my old playthroughs where I was the knight and all the people were like being really nice and respectful to me. I was like, this feels so weird because in my peasant playthrough, every time I walk into a town, they're just like, oh God.
God, he's back again.
So yeah, Warhorse did a great job of letting you choose the way you want to play this game. You can be whoever you want to as your Henry. Well, you have to be Henry, but you can be whoever Henry you want to. Also, as a little bonus to playing the peasant playthrough, you don't have to wash yourself anymore or change your clothes. They can be all messed up and it's fine. And it's so great because then you don't have to worry about those things. I felt like with my armor before, I was like, oh, I got to clean this. Like I just literally rode to Sasau and it took me 10 minutes and I got to clean my armor again. Not in the peasant playthrough. No, I'm good. No matter where I go, I'm good. So that's it, my friends. That's my 5 tips when playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. I really hope that you have an awesome time with this game. This game is just, oh man, it's so freaking good. And like, it's so immersive. Like I didn't even touch on all the magical things like alchemy and stuff that you can do where it's like, you actually have to make the potions and it's like, you can have an ASMR video of just making potions, I bet. It's just so relaxing to do. And there's so many other fun things that like you can experience. So yeah, I hope you have an awesome time playing this game. Thank you so much for tuning in and I will see you next week in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Peace, my friends.